Beneath the war-torn landscapes of Europe, a hidden world of concrete and steel emerged. As Allied bombers roared overhead, the Third Reich moved its most vital infrastructure underground. Among these, hospital bunkers stood out, not just as shelters, but as fortresses of medicine. Imagine, above, cities in flames, below, surgeons working by dim electric light, the thud of bombs echoing through concrete. These bunkers were built to withstand the apocalypse, designed to protect life when death rained from the sky. Walking through one today, the silence is overwhelming, broken only by the drip of water through old concrete. You can almost hear echoes, hushed nurses, wounded groans, a doctor's steady voice. These places are haunting monuments to survival. The very idea, a hospital buried deep in earth, speaks to the total war of the era. No city was safe, no civilian immune. Traditional hospitals became targets, so German engineers built new medical fortresses, able to survive direct hits and keep saving lives. It was a brutal, pragmatic answer to a brutal problem. Today, these structures stand silent across Europe, from France to Berlin and the Channel Islands. Many are sealed and forgotten, some are open to the public. To explore them is to confront the terror and scale of the war, and the lengths people went to preserve life. These are not just relics. They are lessons in engineering, medicine, and the strength of the human spirit. In their silence, they remind us of the desperate will to save, even as destruction raged above. The hospital bunkers are a testament to survival at the edge of annihilation. They force us to remember, even in the darkest times, hope was buried deep, but never extinguished. These sanctuaries endure as powerful reminders of resilience. German hospital bunkers were marvels of defensive engineering. Walls of steel reinforced concrete, beton, absorbed shockwaves and resisted all but the most powerful bombs. Built deep underground, often buried beneath tons of earth, they were nearly invisible from above. Inside, a maze of gas-tight steel doors and right-angled corridors, protected against blasts and chemical attacks. The heart of the bunker, operating rooms and wards, remained sterile and secure, no matter the chaos outside. Air was life. Sophisticated ventilation and filtration systems with manual backups kept the air clean and safe. Sand, gravel, and charcoal filters removed dust and poison gas, while positive air pressure pushed contaminants out. These bunkers were self-sufficient. Diesel generators for power, massive water tanks, and dedicated sewage systems. Every detail was planned for survival, weeks or even months cut off from the world. The foresight was chilling but effective. These bunkers were engineered arcs designed to keep doctors, nurses, and patients alive through the unthinkable. Their design remains a benchmark for survival shelters today. In every detail, they reveal a mindset prepared for siege and survival. Medicine underground was a battle against scarcity. Supplies were finite. Every bandage, every vial of morphine, every suture counted. Once sealed inside, doctors and nurses became masters of improvisation and conservation. Bandages were washed and reused, instruments sterilized again and again. The pressure to manage dwindling resources was relentless. Hospital bunkers bore red crosses, pleading for protection under the Geneva Convention. But in the chaos of bombing, these symbols were often ignored. Inside, medical teams worked on, trusting only the concrete above. Surgical kits were basic. Scalpels, forceps, saws for amputation, sulfur drugs, and precious morphine. Nutrition was critical. Makeshift kitchens prepared simple meals to aid recovery. The chief surgeon managed inventory, making harrowing choices: who got the last dose of morphine or the final clean bandage. Supplies were triaged as ruthlessly as patients. The psychological strain was immense, every decision a matter of life and death. In these bunkers, survival depended on discipline, ingenuity, and unbreakable resolve. It was a war fought with scalpels, not guns. Nowhere was the bunker's role clearer than in the Channel Islands. After D-Day, the German garrisons on Jersey, Guernsey and Alderney were cut off, besieged and forgotten. Their underground hospitals, built by forced labour, became lifelines. The Jersey hospital was a vast warren of tunnels, designed for 500 patients, with wards, kitchens and mortuaries. As supplies dwindled, the bunker's independent systems, power, water, ventilation, were pushed to the limit. Medical teams battled malnutrition, disease and despair in total isolation. The Channel Islands proved the concept. With robust engineering and planning, a community could survive, even when the world outside collapsed. These bunkers became bubbles of stability in a sea of chaos. Life inside a hospital bunker was a sensory ordeal. The cold, damp air seeped into your bones. The only light was harsh, artificial, and unchanging. Time lost meaning, measured by shifts, not sunlight. Silence was deceptive. No birds, no wind, just the drone of generators and fans. Bombs above sent shockwaves through the concrete, a terrifying reminder of the war outside. Claustrophobia was constant. Narrow corridors, low ceilings, no windows, no escape. For staff and patients alike, the psychological toll was immense. Yet routines and camaraderie offered some relief. Small acts of care, a clean bandage, a warm drink, became lifelines of hope. In this artificial world, human resilience made survival possible. For modern survivalists, these bunkers are blueprints for enduring catastrophe. Massive buried concrete remains the gold standard for protection. Blast doors, airlocks and compartmentalized design are essential for safety. Air and water systems were vital. Dual power ventilation, multi-stage filtration and vast water storage. Inventory management was meticulous. Survival depended on knowing exactly what you had and rationing it wisely. Redundancy was key. Backup generators, manual fans, multiple systems for every critical need. The lesson is clear. Anticipate failure, plan for it, and never rely on a single solution. These bunkers show that survival is about preparation, discipline, and adaptability. Their engineering still informs modern shelter design. In every detail, they teach us how to endure the unimaginable. The past is a guide for surviving the future. The true story of the hospital bunkers is human. Medical staff faced relentless psychological pressure, treating horrific injuries, making impossible choices, all while entombed underground. Their professionalism became a shield, projecting calm amid chaos. They fought 2 wars, one against wounds, another against fear and despair. Patients, too, suffered, wounded, trapped, and disoriented by the bunker's oppressive environment. Yet even here, bonds formed. Shared hardship created powerful connections between staff and patients. These relationships were vital coping mechanisms, a flicker of hope in the darkness. The hospital bunkers proved that even in the bleakest conditions, the need for compassion and connection endures. Humanity survived even underground. The hospital bunkers of Warpath are more than feats of engineering. They are monuments to resilience. Built by a brutal regime, yet dedicated to healing, they reveal the paradoxes of war. Their lessons, planning, robust design, and the fundamentals of survival remain relevant today. But their true legacy is human. Doctors, nurses, and patients who clung to hope in the darkest times. These silent spaces warn us of civilization's fragility, but also offer hope. Even at the brink, compassion and resilience endure. The bunkers remind us, in the deepest shelters, the light of humanity can never be fully extinguished. That is a legacy worth remembering.